And Milne, the New Zealand big, tall, quick, they've got all bases covered. That's what they have got. All bases covered. They've got spin, they've got big hitters, they've got tweaking bowlers, they've got aggressive batsmen. These two sides are the best balanced teams in the comp, and I like what I'm seeing from the Perth Scorchers.
Talking about the big hitting at the end, Daniel Sams has the second best strike rate in the competition at 218. McAndrew is at 233, but he hasn't batted anywhere near as much as Daniel Sams. Equals second for most sixes in an innings. He had 7 against the Heat. That aspect of his game has come on leaps and bounds. It's just invaluable what he can do with only a couple of overs to go. And Ben Cutting as well, who's been doing it for a long time. Yep,
and Sams returns tonight. Remember, he's missed the last couple with concussion, Daniel Sams, so he's a big inclusion tonight for the Sydney Thunder. You know, I did a bit of a preview earlier in the afternoon on Sydney's SEN, and they asked me to tip, and I was torn, and I went with the Sixers just on experience. And I'm going to stay with them because I think Chris Green out of the Thunder side swings it back towards the Sydney Sixers, but I won't be at all surprised tonight if the Green come out on top.
Yep.
The Thunder, I mean.
You mentioned Dan Christian and what he's been able to do this year with bat and ball. So he's made over 160 runs. His strike rate is 186, which in terms of strike rates is the third best in the competition. 2 scores over 50, and then with ball in hand as well, he's claimed 10 wickets. And he's taken the second most catches. So just doing it in every facet of the game, the man that wins wherever he goes.
Can I ask you a question? I don't know the answer, and I don't know if you know the answer. But you talk about Phil Salt into the wound. Who did Daniel Christian play for last year?
Renegades.
Why on earth? Why would...
He didn't have a year...
You wouldn't be letting him go, though, would you? We're talking about the bloke that's played all over the world, wins titles wherever he goes. Mm-hmm. The thing about him, right, he provides what you said, bat, ball, field, experience, and I've been watching him a lot this year. Even if he gets hit for 6, which he gets hit for 6 a bit, sometimes he just rolls out lolly length balls and he's not fast. He doesn't get the next ball, he'll run in, great Yorker. When he bats, he'll swing and miss at a couple, doesn't get fussed. He's been around the traps. He's played 8 million T20 matches. So you can't buy that experience and composure in the heat of battle. And that's why I'm staggered. I don't know. Look, maybe he was out of contract. Maybe he got a huge offer. Maybe the Renegades couldn't match it. I don't know the circumstances. But when I look at the Renegades and I think, how is Christian...
They haven't replaced him, have they?
They haven't. And Wildermuth, they let him go back to the Brisbane Heat. And a couple of years ago, Cameron White told it off to the Adelaide Strikers. I think they've made some blunders with their list management.
The game against the Heat, 61 off 38 for Dan Christian. They won by 3 wickets off the last ball of the innings, and it was him that hit the winning 4. As you said, he's won a couple of games off his own bat this year, so Greg Shippard would be gleeful about the sight of him having walked in the door pre-season day 1. So... You're sticking with the Sixers,
I'm staying
Chuck?
with the Sixers. What about yourself? Are you going to... Should we just for our night together, should you go for the Thunder so we can sort of have a battle royale?
I was going to go with the Thunder anyway, but it just does concern me with... You mentioned Chris Green. He's taken the second most wickets for them this year. Tanveer Sangha has taken 15 with an economy rate of 7.47, but it's Green who's done the second most damage for them. 12 wickets for him. And it falls away just a little bit after that in terms of where they're getting their wickets from, the Thunder. So 11 for McAndrew and then 8 to Sams, who's been out for a little while. So they get, obviously he comes back, so that's a big relief for them as well. I'll go with the Thunder.
All right.
But the outs, I think, are going to...
Don't hedge your bets, mate. Just stay strong with your courage of your conviction. I wouldn't have a clue who's going to win. I'm going Sixers. You're going Thunder.
And by the way, is Ben Doggett one of the unluckiest blokes getting around after taking forfeit? Yeah.
Well, he's an X Factor, isn't he? Is he an X Factor tonight? X Factor Doggett, and X Factor was who was there? Was Davies, wasn't he? Davies was the X Factor. So they got one batter and one bowler. X Factor on the Sydney Sixers side of thing was Kerr. We'll put an X Factor next to him.
And Manenti.
So whether or not they'll be used, I don't know. Greg Shippard's not a huge fan of swapping and changing. He normally tries to stay with his team. I just want to talk quickly before we get a start. Daryl Braithwaite tonight. He needs to bring the horses with him. Carlos delivered donuts with the bat recently, and a few of our text messages have said that. Been good with the ball.